Massive alien celebration, a royal event held once every century on the planet Vorlax Prime. Humans are invited as honored allies, but something feels wrong. Commander Elias Ward, a quiet war veteran, arrives with his crew. The guards whisper when they see him. Some stare, some look afraid. Elias ignores them. He has no idea why. As he enters the grand hall, every alien noble turns to look at him, whispering the same words. Is that the human? It must be him, after all these years. Elias feels confused. He has never visited Vorlax Prime before. The alien queen, Queen Saria, appears. She is tall, glowing with royal energy, her 4 silver eyes shining. But the moment she sees Elias, she freezes. The whole hall goes silent. The queen slowly walks toward him. Her voice shakes as she says, "Do you remember me, human?" Elias is shocked. He has never met her. Or, at least he thinks he hasn't. He remembers a war from years ago. A battlefield, smoke, fire, a wounded alien soldier he dragged to safety. But he never saw the soldier's face clearly. Welcome to my channel Starlight Sci-Fi Stories. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The stars of the Vorlax system burned bright above the massive royal palace, each one reflected on the smooth silver surface of the hall windows. Tonight was supposed to be a peaceful event, a grand celebration of unity between humans and the Vorlax Empire. Delegations from many species had arrived, carrying gifts, banners, and hopes for a stronger alliance. But for Commander Elias Ward, something felt wrong the moment he stepped through the entrance. The guards standing at the tall golden doors stiffened when they saw him. Their long blue faces tightened. Their glowing eyes widened, some in surprise, others in fear. Elias didn't know why. He barely knew anything about this place. It was his first time on Vorlax Prime. As he walked inside the grand hall, whispers spread behind him like a quiet storm. Is that the human? It must be him, after all these years. I thought he died. Elias tried to ignore them. He didn't recognize any of these aliens. He had fought in many battles during the human-Vorlax border war years ago, but he had never visited their capital. So why were they acting like they knew him? The hall itself was beautiful. Giant crystal pillars, floating lanterns, long purple banners showing the crest of the royal family. Floating drones played soft music. Dozens of species mingled, talked, and smiled. It should have felt warm and welcoming. Instead, it felt like every eye in the room was watching him. Elias adjusted his deep blue uniform. He had been invited as an honored war hero, but he knew many humans had received similar invitations. Peace treaties always needed nice events and polite speeches. Yet no one stared at the others. Only him. His second-in-command, Lieutenant Mara Chen, walked beside him. "Sir," she whispered, "is something wrong?" Elias shook his head. "Not sure. Maybe they don't see humans very often." Mara gave him a doubtful look. "Or maybe they see you a little too much." Before Elias could answer, a loud horn echoed through the hall. The music stopped. The floating lanterns shifted into a single beam of light, shining down the main staircase. A voice announced, "All stand for Her Majesty, Queen Saria, Savior of the Empire and Keeper of the Silver Flame." The crowd bowed. Elias did the same out of respect. The Queen appeared at the top of the stairs, tall and graceful, with shimmering silver skin that seemed to glow softly. Her 4 eyes, 2 large, 2 smaller near her temples, shone like polished gems. Her long robe flowed behind her like liquid light. She walked down the stairs with calm steps. But when she reached the bottom, her gaze fell directly on Elias. And she froze. Every guest followed her eyes. Every whisper stopped. The Queen stared at Elias as if she had seen a ghost. Her breath caught. Her lower hands trembled slightly. And then she began walking toward him. Slowly, carefully, her eyes never leaving his. Mara leaned closer to Elias. "Ah, sir, what did you do?" He whispered back, "Nothing. Absolutely nothing." But the Queen approached until she stood only a few steps away from him. The entire hall watched in silence. Elias felt the pressure of 1,000 eyes on him, yet he still had no idea what was happening. The Queen exhaled shakily and asked, in a quiet voice that only he and those closest could hear, "Do you remember me, human?" Elias blinked. "Your Majesty, I'm sorry, but no. I don't believe we've met." The Queen's face softened with both sadness and disbelief. "You saved my life," she whispered. Years ago, on the battlefield, Elias felt his chest tighten. He had saved many wounded soldiers in the war, humans, aliens, anyone he could reach. He remembered dragging a badly injured Vorlax soldier out of a collapsing bunker. He remembered the smell of burning metal, the scream of plasma fire, the blood mixing with dust. But he never saw their face clearly. He frowned. "I did save someone, but I didn't know it was you." Gasps rose around the room. Several nobles looked shocked. Others murmured in fear. The queen's expression turned serious. "Come with me," she said softly. "We have much to discuss." She extended a hand, not a gesture of royalty, but one of trust. Elias glanced at Mara. She gave a small nod. "Go, sir, I'll stay with the delegation." The queen led Elias through a side door and into a long hallway. 2E. Light guards followed behind, but the queen raised her hand. "No guards. Only him." The guards obeyed, stepping back with confused expressions. They walked through several twisting corridors until they reached a small, private chamber. The doors closed silently behind them. No windows, only a soft blue light and a round table in the center. The queen turned to him. "You truly do not remember me?" she asked. Elias sighed. "Your Majesty, I remember carrying a wounded Vorlax soldier during the war. I didn't know who they were. I didn't see their rank or face." The queen slowly raised her arm. A long, pale scar ran from her elbow to her wrist, exactly where Elias remembered placing a pressure bandage years ago. "It was you," she said. "You pulled me out of the fire. You shielded me with your own body. I was only a princess then, fighting in secret. No one was supposed to know." Elias stared at the scar. A flood of memories hit him, the screams, the collapsing bunker, the heavy enemy fire. He had nearly died trying to save that soldier. That soldier was now the queen of an empire. He swallowed. "I didn't know." "I know." Her voice softened. "You never asked for reward. You disappeared into the smoke as soon as I was safe. I searched for you for years, but humans all looked the same to my people. We lost the records of your name. So how did you recognize me now?" he asked. The queen's eyes warmed. "Your voice. When you said my name earlier during the greeting, it was the same voice I heard in the fire. The same tone that told me, you're going to be fine. Stay awake." "I never forgot." Elias felt strangely embarrassed. "I don't think I said it that calmly back then." She gave a small smile. "No, you were bleeding and half-conscious." For a moment, they both stood quietly. A strange connection filled the room, simple, honest, unexpected. Then the queen's smile faded. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "Someone wants me dead." Elias's posture straightened. "What?" The queen stepped closer. "I invited you here not only to honor you, but because I knew someone would try to strike tonight." "Why me?" "Because you once saved me without expecting anything in return. There is no one else I can trust completely." Elias took a slow breath. He didn't want to get dragged into royal politics. He came here for peace celebrations, not secret assassination plots. But before he could reply, the entire palace shook. A loud boom echoed through the halls. The floor trembled. Lights flickered. Dust fell from the ceiling. The queen's eyes widened. "No, they've already begun." Another explosion shook the structure. Alarm sirens wailed. Voices shouted outside the chamber. The queen grabbed Elias's arm. "We must move. Now." She pressed her hand against the wall. A hidden door slid open, revealing a dark, narrow passage. Before they could enter, the main chamber door behind them blasted inward. Metal shards flew across the room. Elias shielded the queen with his body. Through the smoke, dark figures stepped inside, masked assassins wearing black armor, moving with deadly precision. The queen whispered urgently, "They've found us." The assassins raised their weapons. Elias pushed the queen into the secret passage just as the assassins opened fire. Blue plasma bolts burst around them. The passage door slid closed behind them, shutting out the gunfire. But the danger wasn't gone. The narrow hallway shook from the blasts. The sirens grew louder. Heavy footsteps echoed from deeper inside the walls. Someone was coming. Someone who knew exactly where they were going. And Elias suddenly realized something chilling. They weren't here to just kill the queen. They were hunting him too. The queen whispered, breathing hard. "Commander, they know who you are. They know what you did for me." Elias's heart pounded. "What do they want?" The queen looked at him with all four of her glowing eyes. "They want to erase the one man who saved my life, because tonight, they plan to finish what they began years ago." A shadow moved at the far end of the passage. The assassins had found another entrance. The queen grabbed Elias's hand. "Run." The secret passage shook again as another explosion hit the palace walls. Dust rained from the ceiling. Sirens wailed across the royal fortress. Elias gripped the queen's hand as they ran through the dark, narrow corridor. The lights were dim, flickering weakly, barely showing the way forward. Behind them, the sound of heavy boots grew louder. Assassins had entered the hidden tunnels. "We can't outrun them in here," Elias said. The queen's voice trembled but stayed steady. "The passage opens into the lower chambers. We must reach the throne room. My personal guard is waiting there." Elias knew there was no turning back. The assassins were too close. They reached a metal hatch. The queen pressed her palm against a glowing panel, and the door slid open. They entered a dark storage chamber filled with old banners, crates, and ancient weapons covered in dust. Elias shut the hatch behind them just as plasma bolts struck the other side. "They're cutting through," he warned. "We must keep moving," the queen replied. "This way." She led him through another door and into a long hall lined with tall statues of past Vorlax rulers. Their stone eyes seemed to watch the two run past. A deep boom suddenly echoed behind them. "They broke the hatch," Elias said. "We have seconds." The queen nodded. "The throne room is beyond that gate." A heavy metal gate stood ahead, carved with glowing patterns. The queen reached for the control panel, but the gate suddenly slid open on its own. The hall beyond was dark. Too dark. Elias stepped forward cautiously. "Your Majesty, stay behind me." The queen obeyed. They walked through the gate. The darkness swallowed them. The air felt colder here, heavier, like they were walking into a trap. A soft click echoed behind them. Elias spun around. The gate had sealed shut. Then the lights turned on, bright, blinding. And he saw them. Dozens of masked assassins stood in a circle, surrounding him and the queen. At the center of the circle stood a tall Vorlax noble wearing elegant black armor decorated with silver blades. His four eyes gleamed with triumph. The queen gasped. "Varan, no, you." The noble removed his mask, revealing sharp features and cold purple eyes. "Lord Varan, the queen's own cousin." "Hello, dear cousin," Varan said with a cruel smile. "You always trusted the wrong people." The queen stepped forward. "You're behind this. You tried to kill me." "Tried?" Varan laughed. "Oh, I will succeed. Tonight, the throne will finally be mine." He pointed a long silver blade at Elias. "And it starts by killing this human." Elias narrowed his eyes. "What do you want from me?" "You," Varan sneered. "You ruined everything many years ago. She should have died on that battlefield. The Empire would have chosen me as the next leader. But you, pathetic human, saved her." Elias understood now. Varan wanted the throne back then. He still wanted it now. "You were there," Elias said quietly. "During that battle." Varan nodded. "Yes, I sent the assassins that day too. And now I will finish what I began." The queen stepped between them. "You won't touch him. I forbid it." Varan smirked. "You can forbid nothing. Your rule ends tonight." He raised his hand. The assassins aimed their weapons. Elias moved instantly. He grabbed the queen's arm and pushed her sideways behind one of the statues. Plasma bolts filled the room. Stone shattered. Dust exploded into the air. Elias ducked behind a pillar as the enemy fire continued. The queen shouted, "Elias! There must be another exit." A plasma blade sliced the stone near her head. Elias sprinted toward her, pulling her away from the collapsing pillar. "Stay low. Move." They dashed behind a large throne pedestal as more energy bolts blasted past. Baron's voice echoed across the room. "You cannot hide forever. Surrender now, cousin. Spare yourself the struggle." Elias whispered, "He's trying to push you into the open." The queen nodded. "He knows I will never let you die." Elias met her eyes. Even in danger, her gaze was steady, strong. "I'm not letting you die either," he said. For a moment, the queen stared at him, 4EYs filled with shock, and something else. Something warm. Then she inhaled deeply and turned away. "There is a hidden tunnel under the throne pedestal. But we must reach it." "How do we get past 30 assassins?" Elias asked. The queen exhaled slowly. "We don't run, we fight." Elias cracked a small grin. "Good answer." The queen pressed her hand against a hidden panel in the pedestal. A small compartment opened, holding 2 Vorlax combat rods, long metal staffs. Elias grabbed one. "Never used one of these. They respond to your energy," the queen said. "Just focus." Elias felt a slight vibration as he gripped the rod. A bright blue blade extended from both ends. "Nice," he whispered. The queen activated her own weapon. Her blade glowed bright silver. "Ready?" she asked. Elias nodded. "Let's ruin your cousin's night." They burst from behind the pedestal. Assassins charged from all directions. Elias spun the combat rod, deflecting plasma bolts and striking enemies with fast, sharp movements. His training from years of war returned instantly, every step precise, every strike clean. The queen moved with royal grace, her silver blade cutting through enemy weapons, disarming assassins with ease. Her 4 eyes glowed with fierce light. Elias kicked an assassin to the ground, grabbed their weapon, and tossed it aside. "They're not stopping, they will," the queen said. Her voice suddenly deepened, filled with powerful energy. Her body glowed silver, a wave of psychic force burst from her, knocking every assassin backward. Their weapons flew out of their hands. The entire hall trembled. Varan stumbled but managed to stay on his feet. His eyes widened. "You awakened your power," he hissed. "Impossible, only the flame bearers can." "I am the flame," the queen said, her voice echoing like thunder. Varan screamed and charged at her with his blade. Elias moved to block him, but the queen raised her hand. "Let me end this." Varan swung his blade toward her. The queen caught it with her bare hand. The blade cracked. Baron's eyes widened in fear. You can't be this strong." The queen pushed him back with a single burst of energy. He flew across the hall and slammed into a stone pillar, collapsing to the floor. The assassins, seeing their leader defeated, dropped their weapons. The queen approached Varan slowly. "You betrayed your blood, your empire, your people." Varan coughed weakly. "The throne should have been mine." The queen knelt beside him. "No, the throne belongs to whoever protects our people, not destroys them." She stood tall and spoke to the room. "Take him to the royal cells. He will face judgment." The guards who had arrived after hearing the battle carried Varan away. The assassins surrendered without a fight. The hall fell silent. Only Elias and the queen remained near the shattered throne pedestal. The queen turned to him. Her glowing eyes softened. "You saved me again," she whispered. Elias exhaled slowly. "You saved me too." The queen stepped closer. "Elias, there is something I must say." He looked into her 4 eyes, waiting. "For years," she said softly, "I remembered the human soldier who carried me out of the fire. I remembered his voice, his courage, his hands trembling as he tried to save a stranger." She touched the scar on her arm. "You changed my life. Without you, I would not be here." Elias swallowed. "I didn't even know who you were." "That is why it mattered," she said. A quiet moment passed between them. Then the queen smiled gently. "Come," she said. "I have something to show you." She pressed her hand on the throne pedestal again. A hidden platform rose from the floor. She stepped onto it and gestured for Elias to join her. The platform carried him upward, through a narrow shaft, until they reached the top of the palace. A glass ceiling opened above, showing the star-filled sky and the glowing city below. The queen stood beside Elias. "From today onward," she said, "I will no longer search for the human who saved my life." She looked at him with soft eyes. "I have found him." Elias felt warmth rise in his chest. "Your Majesty, call me Saria." He nodded slowly. "Saria," she smiled. "Your place is not among the guests anymore. If you wish it, your place is beside me. As protector of the throne. As my trusted ally. As the one I owe my life." Elias took a deep breath. He looked at the shining city. The stars. The endless sky. Then he looked at Saria, the queen he once saved, who now stood beside him with gratitude and something deeper in her eyes. "I'll stay," he said quietly. "I'm not leaving you again." The queen's smile grew. Above them, the morning sun began to rise, lighting the palace in gold. And for the first time in years, Elias felt something he had long forgotten: peace. End.